Hey there, ready to dive into something you're already interested in? Learning French. And get this, it's not just about ordering croissants on your next trip to Paris.
Right.
We're going deep with this article from Linguid, 5 compelling reasons to learn French in 2024.
It's a good one.
Yeah, you might be surprised at some of the benefits they found.
Definitely. This goes way beyond the usual French's romantic stuff.
Totally. But I have to say, the brain benefits, those really got me thinking.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
It's like learning a musical
It
instrument.
is. You're kind of rewiring your brain in a good way.
Exactly. Rewiring it for the better.
There was this fascinating study, I think it was from the University of Edinburgh, and they found that bilingual adults, they had what they call better cognitive reserve.
Okay, what does that mean?
Basically, their brains were more resistant to, age-related decline.
So it's like a workout for your brain, but with long-term benefits.
Exactly.
I like it. And it's not just memory either, right? I mean, the article also mentioned something about creativity, didn't it?
Absolutely. When you engage with different language structures and, start expressing yourself in new ways, it actually makes you a more creative thinker overall.
So not only will I be able to order that croissant with confidence, but I might even come up with my next brilliant idea while I'm at it.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay, so we've got the brain-boosting benefits, but what about the practical applications of learning French? You know I'm all about efficiency.
Well, this is where I think Linguid really gets it right. They really delve into the global impact of French, particularly in the business world.
Okay.
Like, it's easy to think of French as mainly a European language,
Right.
but its presence in Africa, for example, that often gets overlooked.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
And with so many emerging markets in Africa, French language skills could be a huge asset.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine, just as an example, a young entrepreneur in Senegal, right, launching a new tech startup, being fluent in French. That opens doors to investors, partners, a much wider customer base across the entire Francophone world. That's a powerful advantage in today's globalized economy.
It's like that saying, speak a new language, open a new world.
Love that saying.
Yeah. But it's not just about economics, is it? There's a personal growth aspect to language learning that I think is so important.
100%. I remember when I learned my second language, I mean, it wasn't French, but the whole experience completely changed my perspective. It
Really?
was like I could suddenly see the world through this different lens,
Right.
appreciating things I never even noticed before.
It's almost like stepping outside of your own cultural bubble, wouldn't you say?
Exactly. You begin to understand that there are so many ways of seeing and experiencing the world.
And that's got to be good for personal growth.
Without a doubt. That openness to new perspectives, that willingness to embrace the unknown, that's really where true learning and growth begin.
It's that feeling when you travel somewhere new and you're like, wow, I had no idea.
Yeah,
Like, my view was so limited.
exactly.
And learning French, it can be like that journey of discovery, but you don't even have to leave your home.
That's right.
You know, when I was reading the article, it said that French is about way more than just Paris.
Oh, yeah.
And it really made me rethink what I thought about the language.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, sure, I knew it was spoken in other countries, but I guess I never really grasped how widely it's spoken.
It's true. It's easy to forget.
It's really interesting, though,
It is.
because, like, when you think about it, for such a long time, French was seen as the language of diplomacy and international relations.
Oh, absolutely.
And I feel like that's something that still has influence today,
I agree.
even though things are different now than they were a few hundred years ago.
For sure.
And that made me think about another point the Linguid article made.
Right.
It was talking about how learning French can really give you a leg up in the job market.
Oh, yeah. It's huge for your career.
And I know that's something that you think a lot about.
Definitely. Look, we live in a globalized world, right?
We do.
And knowing French, it could be a game changer, really, for all sorts of industries.
Oh, absolutely.
Think about it. International development, diplomacy, fashion, tourism, even technology.
Yeah.
These are all fields that are looking for people with French language skills.
Yeah. They even gave the example of that French tech startup, the one that went global.
Right. And it's not even just about, going to work for a French company.
Right.
You've got international organizations, NGOs, tons of multinational corporations. They all work in French-speaking areas, or they're doing business with French-speaking partners.
So it's almost like less about packing up and moving to France,
Right.
and more about expanding your options on a global scale.
Exactly. It's like you're adding this valuable tool to your toolkit, and it's a tool that can open doors for you to new collaborations, different perspectives, new ways of thinking. It's all about having that extra something that makes you stand out. especially in a competitive job market.
You know, that makes me think about something you mentioned earlier
Yeah.
about how learning a new language can actually change the way you think.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
Can you tell me a little more about that?
Sure. So when you learn a new language, right, you're not just memorizing words and grammar.
Right.
You're basically teaching your brain to process information in a whole new way.
Really?
Yeah. And that can actually make you more cognitively flexible, improve your problem-solving skills, even boost your creativity.
It's like you're challenging your brain.
Exactly.
And the more you challenge it, the more adaptable it becomes.
Precisely. And the best part is, these benefits, they don't stop with language.
What do you mean?
Well, studies have shown that people who are bilingual, they tend to be better at multitasking, they have longer attention spans, and they're even better at learning new things.
Really?
Yeah, including other languages.
It's like giving your brain an upgrade, like adding a whole new skill set before your mind.
Right. And it really highlights something, I think, that learning French, it's not just about a practical skill, you know?
Yeah.
It's about, like, going on a journey of self-discovery, really enriching your life,
I like that.
expanding what you thought was possible, challenging those old assumptions,
Yeah.
and opening yourself up to a whole new way of seeing the world.
It's like that quote from the article about language being a bridge that connects people.
Yes. And not just being able to, order a coffee or something,
Yeah, right.
but connecting with people on a deeper level through experiences, understanding different cultures.
Yeah, it's like you can understand where someone's coming from so much better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And really appreciating those different perspectives that are out there.
That reminds me of the story I heard about this musician, and they were saying how learning French completely changed their songwriting.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they felt like they suddenly had, this whole new range of emotions and ways to express themselves
That's incredible.
because they learned a new language.
It's like unlocking some hidden potential, right?
Exactly.
And not just in communication, but in life in general.
Yeah.
It can make you a more empathetic friend, a more insightful traveler, a more well-rounded person, really.
So, like the article said, if learning a new language is like opening a door to a new world, what new world will French open for you?
That's a great question to think about. For everyone listening, we would love to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
What resonated with you from this deep dive?
Yeah.
What parts of French language or culture are you most curious about?
Let us know.
You can connect with us on social media, and don't forget to use the hashtag #FrenchDeepDive.
We can't wait to hear from you.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep those brains buzzing.